The self is product of social processes. Although people mature as biological entities, it also emerged from social interactions. Interactions take the form of socialization and enculturation. Why is socialization an invisible yet very formidable process that each member of society has to experience and undergo? Let's find out. Let's start with the important terminologies for this lesson. We have nature and nurture. So nature is biological inheritance and nurture is cultural inheritance. Meaning to say na ang nature is something na may kinalaman sa genes or merong biological and family factor. While nurture is merong social at environmental factor. So, madalas kasi pag debatehan yung nature versus nurture. Example, sa high blood pressure tsaka sa pagiging obese ng isang tao. So, sabi sa side ng nature na kaya daw nagkaganon is may kinalaman sa genetic something or sa genes. Then, sa side naman ng nurture is kaya daw naging ganon kasi sa kinakain at lifestyle ng isang tao. So, yun yung nature versus nurture. Let's proceed with identity formation. Pag sinabing identity formation, kung ano ba yung bumubuo sa iyong personal identity. Binubuo ng values, attitude, at beliefs na nanggagaling sa family, peers, at community. Ano ba yung nagbibuild or bumubuo or ano yung nagde-define sa sarili nyo? So, yun yung identity formation. Now, let's proceed with primary identity. Consists of roles and status that an individual learns as a child. So, yung primary identity is, ito yung kung paano nagsimula yung identity ng isang tao sa pagiging bata. Ano ba yung status? Pinanganak bang mahirap or mayaman? Yung panimulang identity ng isang tao. Now, let's go with socialization. Refers to lifelong social experience by which people develop their human potential and learn culture. Although it is a general process, it refers to the process by which an individual is oriented and taught by his or her society or norms. Then, enculturation naman is the process of being socialized into a certain culture. So, ano pinagkaiba ni socialization kay enculturation? We define enculturation the process of learning your own culture. Then, si socialization naman is a general term wherein ito yung process na since pagkapanganak sa isang tao hanggang mamatay siya, yun yung process ng pag-acquire or pag-learn niya ng culture. Yun yung socialization, general term. While enculturation is focused on a certain culture, learning of a certain culture. Now, since na napag-uusapan na natin yung identity, let's go with the theories of identity. Now, first is the norms and values. It refers to all those ideas held in society that are considered good, acceptable, and right. Yan. Some norms are prescriptive at iba naman ay prescriptive. Pag sinabing prescriptive, stating that what we should not do. Then, kaya prescriptive, stating what we should do. Ano yung dapat gawin at ano yung hindi dapat gawin. Ayun yung norms. So, para mas maintindihan, let's proceed with the 4 categories of social norms. We have folkways, mores, taboo, and laws. Ang folkways is socially approved behavior that have no moral underpinning. Meaning to say na yung folkways is wala namang kinalaman sa morality ng tao. Pero, ito yung mga bagay na dapat at hindi dapat gawin sa isang society na naging custom na. For example, yung pagdighay, hindi pagsabi ng excuse. So, rude siya tingnan pero hindi dapat gawin. Pero hindi naman big deal. Let's proceed with mores. Norms that usually define or establish the behavior or moral standards within a culture or society. Wherein, ito na yung nagde-define ng right and wrong. Yung mores din, kapag na-violate, nakaka-offend na sa ibang tao. So, example ng mores is yung pagsuot ng red kapag a-attend ng lamay. Kasi nakaka-offend yun para sa family ng namatayan. So para ma-identify natin yung pinagkaiba ng folkways sa Morse, example, a-attend ng formal party. Example ng folkways is yung hindi mo pagsuot ng necktie. Then, ang example ng Morse doon is kapag umattend ka ng formal party pero necktie lang yung suot. Nagagets yung difference? Yun yung folkways and Morse. Now, proceed tayo sa taboo. Behavior that are absolutely forbidden in a specific culture. Yan yung taboo kapag na-violate mo, magiging kahihiyan or pag-uusapan ka or i-judge ka ng sobra ng society. Again, yung norms, folkways, Morse, taboo, para siyang level pero depende at subjective to. Depende sa culture ng isang society kung gaano ba kalala or gaano nila pinapahalagahan yung ganong kaugalian. Example ng taboo is yung deeper chart. Kapag nag-asawa ka ng 20, syempre, pag-uusapan ka ng society, i-judge ka, kasi pinagbabawal talaga yon. Next, last one is laws. Ito madali lang to. Consists of the rules and regulation that are implemented by the state. Mga batas. Let's proceed to another theory. Status and roles. Status is an individual position in his or her society, which carries with it a set of defined rights and obligations. Roles is the sets of expectation from people who occupy a particular status. Dali lang yan, status at roles. Example is kayo, na ang status nyo ay isang student, isang anak, or kung ano man, o kaya isang worker. So, bawat status na yon is may katumbas na role. Ano ba ine-expect sa isang estudyante? Ano ba ang dapat gawin as anak? Ano ba dapat gawin as worker? Yun yung status at roles. Next is conformity and defiance. Conformity and defiance ay magka-opposite na term yan. Conformity is the act of following the rules and goals of one's society. Defiance, on the other hand, the act of violating the prescribed social norms. Pag sinabing conformity, pagsunod sa rules at goals ng isang society. Kung ano ba yung batas, example, bawal magtapon ng basura. At kung ano yung mga norms. Pagsunod. Then yung defiance naman is pag-violate. Ganun lang. So saan ba kayo papanig? Dapat bang i-violate o dapat bang sundin? Yun yung isang theories of identity, conformity, and defiance. Now, let's proceed to social control. It is needed to maintain social order and stability. So, bakit ba ganito yung society natin? So, two elements that promote social control. Paano ba nakakontrol ng society? Number 1, internalization. Number 2 is sanctions. Pag sinabing internalization, it is an integral part of communicating and incorporating social norms to an individual's personality. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng social control kasi in-internalize or sinasali natin sa isang individual yung social norms, kung ano ba yung dapat gawin at hindi dapat gawin. Nalalaman yun ng bawat individual. Kaya nagkakaroon ng social control. Kasi each individual alam nila kung ano yung dapat at hindi dapat gawin. Natatanim yun sa isip nila. Yun yung internalization. Number 2 is sanctions. A powerful in leading an individual to conform to social norms. Yung may kinalaman na yung reward or punishment sa paglabag at pagsunod ng social norms. Now we have types of sanctions. We have formal, informal, and positive sanctions. Formal sanction, ito yung mga formal way or mga sanctions na binibigay sa institution, government, council, and other establishments. Formal siya, in a formal way. Sanction. Example sa school or sa government. Kapag pumatay ka, ano ba yung sanctions? Makukulong? Pag sinabi namang informal sanctions, these are the rewards and forms of punishments that are spontaneously given by an individual or a group of people as a response to behavior that was either accepted or disapproved. Yan, kung kanina formal by a government, councils, another establishment, institution. Sa informal sanctions naman is parang informal way. Example, sa family, grounded ka ng gantong araw dahil ginawa mo tong bagay na to. Yun yung informal sanctions. Then, last one is positive sanctions. These are the action or statements that reward a behavior which reinforce its repetition. Siyempre, positive sanctions. Example nito, kapag yung isang anak napasama sa top 10, then may ibibigay na reward. Jollibee, yun yung example ng positive sanctions para mas pag-igihan ng isang tao yung ginawa niyang positive things. So yun lang for this lesson. I hope you learn a lot. Bye-bye and peace.